side to fracking and say you're an environmentalist because immediately the default options are fuels that are much less clean.
For the next hour, Shawn Wilson explores the energy industry with news and interviews from around the corner and around the globe.
Nuclear is one of the directions that we should innovate in.
The Exploring Energy Show begins now.
A very, very good Thursday morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. Shawn Wilson here with the Exploring Energy Radio Show. Again, we've been talking about donations to the Elk City Meals on Wheels. Again, their Venmo handle is the @ECMOW, acronym for Elk City Meals on Wheels, ECMOW. So @ECMOW. Get on there and give them a reoccurring donation. Just to give you an idea, there's 65 meals a day. Currently be delivering to homebound and disabled elderly adults. An average of 101 meals served daily. Okay? Just crazy how many people are really, it's the only people they see, these Meals on Wheels people, the only food they get. So if you're led to donate to Grandma's Kitchen, the Meals on Wheels, one table, one community, one purpose, I highly recommend that you do so. It helps other people, and it's just something that needs to be done. Again, we're trying to get at least 100 people to give $25 a month, reoccurring gift, and that's going to help that program. It doesn't carry the program, but it helps the Meals on Wheels program. Here at Grandma's house, here's what's on the menu this morning. 15th day of January. Yikes, halfway through this month already. Red beans and rice, pickled okra, cornbread, and brownies. So red beans and rice, pickled okra, cornbread, brownies. That's what's on the menu today at Grandma's house. The Elk City Meals on Wheels is located at 1510 West 9th Street. You can call in your order. You can call in to find out how to donate. 225-5821, 225-5821. They're open from 11 to 1, Monday through Friday. Regular meals, $8. Senior citizens meals, just $7. Everyone is welcome. Red beans and rice, pickled okra, cornbread, and brownies. Again, let's help support Grandma's house, the Elk City Meals on Wheels program. On the Venmo, the handle's @ECMOW. Free books brought to you by the Friends of the Carnegie Library. If you are a bookworm, if you like reading books, well, you can read them for free, and they'll deliver them to you right here in the Elk City area. Also, if you're having trouble reading the regular size print, they've got a free program. Ask them about that. 225-0136, 225-0136. It's the Friends of the Carnegie Library. Okay, I'm going to get to these commodity prices, but I'll tell you they're somewhat skewed because of, some of the information that's coming down the pike for the easing of the Iranian situation and the Venezuelan situation. We'll talk about that here in just in a second. But, yeah, it's kind of a roller coaster ride here. West Texas Intermediate down below $60, trading at $51.39. That's down $2.71 a barrel on a January contract. Brent crude oil in the ICE Futures Exchange out of London down $2.80 on a February contract to $63.72 a barrel. Now, Tocom crude oil is up 590 yen per kiloliter. New York Mercantile Exchange natural gas is up just a skosh, a penny, to $3.12 per million BTU. Here's some big drops in the refined products. RBOB gasoline, New York Mercantile Exchange January contract trading down $5.87 to $177.17. Heating oil in the New York Mercantile Exchange down $8.09 to $220.10. And then gas oil down $17 to $642.25 per metric ton. So those are some of the things right there. Of course, Crude oil prices finished a little bit lower. We're seeing that again starting in trading today. Wednesday produced higher crude oil prices in early trading, then settled lower after President Trump eased some of the fears of disruptions to Iranian oil supplies. He indicated the that killings in Iran had subsided amidst the government crackdown on civil unrest. Tensions between Tehran and Washington remained high after Iran warned U.S. allies in the Middle East it would strike U.S. bases on their soil if the U.S. attacked it. Well, the U.S. was withdrawing personnel from key bases in the region as a precaution given heightened regional tensions, a U.S. official said. World benchmark crude finished the day down 92 cents, and we just talked about what they're trading at right now. So that's kind of some of the reasons that we're having with that, with the yo-yo effect with the oil and gas industry. Well, the data center situation, well, there was one that was opposed data center approved near Fort Worth. Okay, so as the controversies over proposed data centers in several sites in Oklahoma have caught even the attention of Washington Post this week, we talked about that yesterday, such disputes are spreading across Kansas and now into Texas. So our neighbors to the north and the south here. This week, Hood County commissioners just southwest of Fort Worth gave conditional approval to a 2,600-acre data center complex. Approval came after a meeting which lasted nearly 8 hours. The commissioners also decided they will hold a public hearing in February to consider the possibility of a moratorium on such major industry projects. Residents voiced their opposition, to the project called Comanche Circle, a proposal for that park to include several data center buildings, on-site power generation, and on-site water and wastewater management, all of which require special permits, reported KERA Public Radio. Real estate company Sailfish filed a proposal and planned to rely on private groundwater wells and a private wastewater plant. The request showed construction could start this year, with the central centers becoming operational by 2027. So, kind of the same old song and dance. Residents already complained about the Bitcoin mining center located in the county and also voiced opposition to the proposal from the real estate firm. And I quote, "When I hear this noise, my thoughts are, I get to pay property taxes to be audibly assaulted," said Hood County resident John Highsmith. "And my neighbors in Mitchell Bend suffer greatly from the constant noise. It's just a travesty." Well, there's others that spoke too. "Do you do your homework? Go slow and get it right," said resident Cindy Highsmith. More than a dozen speakers asked county leaders to spend more time studying the project's long-term effects. "I know we would rather deal with a lawsuit than something that will fundamentally change our land, air, and water forever," said resident Matt Long. So it's getting initial approval. But the one thing that I'm going to point out here, 2,600 acres, 480 to a section. Phew, that's a lot of land. But also, it says, they're going to provide their own water from their water wells. I mean, that's still the aquifer that they would be drawing out of, the wastewater. So they're, planning on reclaiming as much of that water as they can. On-site power production. So they're proposing that we're going to produce our own power so the local residents do not have to pay for it. So, I mean, there's definitely some things that are happening that we've talked about on this show, about the water, the electrical, who's going to pay for it, what kind of a cost is it going to have to those in that area. So Kansas, they're still fighting tooth and nail, really. The fight over the progress of data centers spread this week to Kansas, where one county adopted a moratorium on the construction of the data centers through the end of 2028. And another county heard debate over a proposed project. Harvey County, where Newton is located, 29 miles north of Wichita, adopted a moratorium on Tuesday of this week, where county commissioners approved a resolution in anticipation of requests for data center construction. County Commissioner Don Schroeder explained the moratorium will give the county planning department and zoning board time to research the design regulations and the data centers themselves. It's just a matter of learning about what a data center is, what benefits would they provide, and what are the drawbacks to it. County Commissioner Don Schroeder said. He also expressed concerns about the amount of water needed to buy a potential data center. KSN TV in Wichita reported Karen Roth, who oversees the county zoning and planning, said the move also allows the county to get ahead of things. We don't currently have any regulations in place in our zoning for data centers, crypto mining, anything in that related field, Roth said. It's always best to have the regulation in place before an application or interest comes into the county. I agree with that statement. I mean, get yourself prepared. You know, it's education is the key. And I think that the general public is going to start getting more and more educated about what these data centers really do, what their cost factor is, what kind of an impact they're going to have, both environmentally, both, with noise pollution and all kinds of things like that. But it's something that the United States is definitely going to have to do. We're going to have to stay in front of it. And I understand these counties, and I understand the need for, hey, listen, it's kind of like what Oklahoma did with the legalization of medical marijuana. They absolutely had no fear that the thing was going to pass on a statewide vote. And it did. Well, they weren't ready. They didn't do their due diligence. They didn't have the mechanisms in place. So then they got taken advantage of, and all these Chinese companies come in and started throwing cash down and started putting these illegal operations in the state of Oklahoma. And Oklahoma just didn't really have laws and regulations. Well, this is kind of the same thing with this data center situation. If you don't have rules and regulations in place in these counties or these places where these data centers are going to go, then there's that possibility you're going to get taken advantage of. Okay. And I guess it's that old deal like, well, it's easier to beg forgiveness than ask permission. I mean, all of us married guys out there, we know what's up. But I'm just saying that's kind of the same thing. So this county in Kansas is saying, okay, hey, wait just a little bit. Let us get our poop in a group here. Let us do some due diligence. Let us get some information about what's going on here. And let's go ahead and get some safeguards in place before it happens, instead of trying to scramble around and just kind of poke and hope like my golf game. So I'm kind of proud of the Harvey County situation where they said, okay, we're not going to say there'll never be one here, but we're going to say, listen, we want to be ready for when one does come here. We got our house in order. I'm going to take a quick break, be back with more of today's Exploring Energy Radio show right after this.
Stay informed with the latest news from the energy industry on the Exploring Energy Show.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQBar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQBar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Now you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping when you text IQ Bar to 64,000. Text IQ Bar to 64,000 to get your 20% off. That's IQ Bar to 64,000.
Timber, Oklahoma is your safe and reliable expert tree care service. At Timber, we provide professional tree trimming and removal with a focus on safety, quality, and clear communication. With over 10 years of experience and certified in the Electrical Hazards Awareness Program, our crews provide tree trimming and removal, storm damage cleanup, utility line clearance. Call Timber today at 580-732-3400 or see us online at www.timberokla.com or email us at customercare@timberokla.com.
Need to dig it? Then it's time to rent it. But call 811 first and then head on over to DJ's Rentals and Sales and let their knowledgeable staff help you get it started. Whether it's a backhoe, a post hole digger, a mini excavator, or a skid steer that you need to help make that job a little easier. You can find them all and more at DJ's Rentals and Sales, 911 South Main Street in Elk City. Text them on the text line at 580-799-7214. Find and follow them on Facebook. And don't forget to call 811 first.
Hey folks, this is EJ Gretaman with ASCO Equipment out of Elk City, Oklahoma. If you need rental equipment, I got your back. From excavators to wheel loaders, telehandlers, and forklifts, we rent the brands that you know and trust. With flexible terms, responsible service, and expert support, we're here to keep your job on track. Need equipment? We're on it here at ASCO Equipment. Visit ASCOEQ.com or stop by our Elk City branch, 513 West 20th here in Elk City, Oklahoma, or you can just give me a call, 580-243-9233. Appreciate it, folks, and y'all have a blessed day.
Craving a real steak? Fred's Steakhouse in Elk City is firing up flavors 7 days a week. The grill is always hot, and the steaks are always fresh. From juicy char-grilled ribeyes, fillets, and sirloins, to chicken fried steak, hearty burgers, seafood, and chicken, there's something for everyone. Don't forget the appetizers, salads, and desserts to top it off. Bring your appetite. We'll handle the rest. Dine in or order online now on the DoorDash app. It's more than just a steakhouse. It's Fred's.
Need a trip hopper, feed buggy, or cattle chute? Call Barnes Feed Service in Hobart, Oklahoma. 580-726-2120.
Stay informed with the latest news from the energy industry on the Exploring Energy Show.
Thanks for sticking around this beautiful, crisp Thursday morning. If you haven't been out, get a jacket. Woo! All right. This show brought to you in part by American Hose and Supply. Go to those who know hose. If you want to keep your machinery up and running, you got to keep your hoses in working condition. American Hose and Supply will do that for you. They can help you. They can help you do it if you're proactive and get them ahead of time. They can help you do it if you're reactive and do it at the time. American Hose and Supply, inside the Camrock building next to Fred's Steakhouse in Elk City. Call 303-1123. 303-1123. Go to those who know hose. David Allen Guest, certified mineral manager. A great guy, a great mineral manager. He's an investment, not an expense. Plus, you get that time back, and how much price can you put on that? David's been managing minerals and royalties for himself and others for over 40 years. He understands it's complicated. It's always changing. He stays on top of it. This is what he does. David has the experience to help you navigate through every aspect of it. Managing your mineral and royalties for yourself shouldn't be like a side gig. This guy does it for a living, and he does it right. He's a man of integrity. He'll get you the most out of your royalties. And he's a guy you're going to be glad you're doing business with. And if you find yourself in a situation to liquidate or sell your royalties, David's a buyer of royalties from estates, probates, trusts, and bankruptcies. Will not take advantage of you. David Allen Guest. Call him today, 405-341-8698. Or look him up on the interweb. David Allen Guest, 405-341-8698. Farmers use a lot of oil every season. Oilfield companies use a lot of oil all the time. Camrock's oil is the same specifications, lubricates the same as the designer brand. You're just not paying for the name on the can. But Camrock's oil costs a lot less. Folks who use a lot of oil save a lot of money with Camrock. Camrock Supply on South Main Street in Elk City next to Fred's Steakhouse. Online, camrocksupply.com. That's camrocksupply.com. Locations in Elk City, Oklahoma City, Midland, Texas, Ulysses, Kansas. We're talking about, three local guys with their local ties doing business with their communities. Okay, so, all right. You know, this artificial intelligence, we're talking a lot about it. What's it doing with energy construction? What's holding it back? This was very interesting. When I was researching for the show, I came across this, and I thought it was very pertinent. So I'm going to share it with you this morning. The digital transformation, DT, digital transformation, is refining how industries operate, and the energy construction sector is no exception. DT, digital transformation, is not solely an upgrade in technology. It is a holistic business strategy that requires cultural, operational, and procedural shifts across an organization. In parallel, artificial intelligence, AI, is emerging as a pivotal enabler, enhancing DT, digital transformation, by providing robust analytical and automation capabilities. In this article, they explore the barriers and opportunities for digital transformation and AI adoption. So basically, digital transformation encompasses the integration of cutting-edge digital technologies to improve processes, increase productivity, and generate value. In the energy construction sector, this DT, digital transformation, involves incorporating tools such as Internet of Things devices, drones, building information modeling, and advanced analytics to modernize workflows. AI extends these capabilities further. Artificial intelligence-powered systems facilitate geospatial route planning, predictive maintenance, prompt engineering, and autonomous operations. The synergy of DT and AI, digital transformation, and artificial intelligence creates opportunities not only to streamline operations, but also to redefine business models and competitive strategies. So what are some of the barriers to transformation and AI adoption? Well, socio-technical and cultural changes. Socio-technical and cultural changes. One major barrier is the socio-technical gap. Basically, transforming an organization requires changing not only in its technology, but also in its workforce skills, mindset, and culture. Resistance to change is common. We all know that, especially among employees who fear job displacement or lack the training to manage new systems. Achieving transformation demands patience, effective training programs, and strong leadership to foster a culture of innovation. So also managing the digital disruption and complexities. That's another one of the hurdles, if you will. Traditional management and communication methods, such as reliance on email, are inadequate in a digital-first world. Modern lean management practices, which include agile frameworks like Kanban and Scrum, integrated enterprise resource planning, ERP systems, are essential to reduce waste and enhance collaboration. However, the transition to these new systems introduces complexities at risk management, particularly with regards to data privacy and performance measurement. The use of sensors, tracking software, and IoT devices increases the volume of data, but also raises concerns over employee privacy and regulatory compliance. So the regulatory and ecosystem challenges. The evolving regulatory landscape presents its own set of challenges as governments and technology giants push for cloud adoption and new data protocols. Construction companies must navigate a maze of compliance requirements. Moreover, the construction ecosystem, comprising joint ventures, subcontractors, and supply chains, adds another layer of complexity in ensuring that all stakeholders adhere to updated digital standards. So basically, if you're out there on a job and your subcontractors, they're not digitally plugged in, it causes some miscommunication. High initial investment and integration issues. This is another one of the drawbacks. Implementing advanced digital technologies and AI often involves significant upfront costs. In industries where margins are tight, the financial risk of investing in new technologies without guaranteed short-term returns can be a major deterrent. Integration challenges also persist as legacy systems must be updated or replaced to support the new digital infrastructure. So the cost factor, that's another one of the drawbacks, if you will. It goes on to say enhanced operational efficiency. Digital transformation can markedly improve operational efficiency by reducing human error, streamlining processes. Construction companies can achieve the 3 to 4% annual productivity gains necessary to stay competitive. Artificial intelligence enhances technologies such as 3D lidar scanning enable rapid verification of the pipeline trench profile, the right-of-way clearance, ensuring compliance with design specifications, and cutting down project delays by reducing networks. I mean, they cut these right-of-ways now using GPS from satellites, so they know they're right where they're supposed to be. Data-driven decision-making. The digitalization of construction processes generates vast amounts of data. Advanced analytics and artificial intelligence-powered tools can transform this data into actionable insights, leading to more accurate risk assessments and performance predictions. For instance, integrating drones. The IoT sensors and big data analytics has been linked to revenue increases of up to 12% for companies that fully leverage these tools. So you've got to come up with innovative business models. Like digital transformation paves the way for novel business models rather than investing heavily in hardware, such as installing sensors on every excavator. Companies can explore alternative approaches like equipment rental based on usage hours. Such models optimize resource utilization, reduce capital expenditure, and align costs more directly with operational needs. So these are just some of the things that artificial intelligence and this transformation, just some of the things that are positive, some of the things that are negative. And you got to look at both sides of it. You know, right now, like they talked about, the margins are so tight in the oil and gas industry now for service companies and those who put pipelines in and those kind of things like that, that coming up with that extra money and then hoping and praying it works. Now, there are people that are out there that are testing these situations to see exactly what it is they can do and how it is they can do it. But the bottom line is you're going to need people that know how to use this new artificial intelligence and this new digital transformation. It's kind of interesting to see. I thought it was very interesting, and I hope that you got something from this story, and that is, you know, it's not all, peaches and cream, baby. I mean, you got to separate the chaff. Comes with education. I'm going to take another quick break. Be back with more of the Exploring Energy Radio Show right after this.
The Exploring Energy Show.
You know why people like going out to eat? It's a little treat for them. They get to leave the house and go somewhere else and have somebody else cook the food and serve it to them and clean up afterward. All you got to do is pay and leave.
I know a lady that makes it at Janice's Cafe. We go out there and eat all the time. You know why? It's not at home, and it's better than what we cook. You know, one of my favorite things to eat at Janice's Cafe? The catfish. It's good. It's got the crispy breading. Oh, it's like they made it with love, with a little bit more love on top of it.
Bacon cheeseburger.
Best bacon cheeseburger in the business. Name another one.
Mushroom and Swiss.
Best mushroom burger there is ever. Janice's Cafe can make all those burgers for. Of course, they got burgers. Got the best burgers you can have.
Do you think more people drink sweet tea or unsweet tea?
Well, you know what I am.
Half and half.
Half sweet, half unsweet. Janice is located on the south side of Elk City, where you go into the movie theater, right there next to Arby's. You'll be able to find it because there's a big old sign up there that says Janice's Cafe.
Looking for the perfect venue for your next event? Look no further than the Frisco Center, located in the heart of western Oklahoma. Whether it's a stunning wedding, a joyful reception, a memorable birthday party, or a professional seminar, we've got you covered. With spacious rooms and exceptional service, Frisco Center is designed to make your special occasion unforgettable. Located at 101 South 4th Street in Clinton, Oklahoma. Call us today at 580-323-7874 to book your date. The Frisco Center, where every event is a reason to celebrate.
Hi, I'm Mike Rowe, and I just learned that people of Oklahoma Oil and Natural Gas have just restored their 20,000th well site. They've been doing this work voluntarily now for decades, spending tens of millions of dollars restoring one well site at a time. Many of these old well sites are 50 to 100 years old, abandoned by their original owners. But now, the land is restored, so the current owners can make it productive for generations to come. See how they do it at oerb.com/micro.
Thank you just doesn't seem to be enough. There are lots of places to buy cars and lots of places to have them serviced. We are really humbled by the trust you placed in us at Barbara Dyson Ford last year. We don't take it for granted. You're the reason we had a terrific 2025. It was all because of you, and thank you for that. If you need us in 2026, we'll still be in the northeast part of Elk City and online at barbadysonford.net. We'd be honored to serve you this year.
Have you ever wanted to broadcast high school sports, but were just a little bit worried about having no experience? This is Aaron Skinny Calc, voice of the Elk City Elks. I was in that boat years ago. I took a chance and called a couple of playoff basketball games, and it was more fun than I thought it could possibly be. Now I'm on the call for every single game Elk City plays. That could be you. Paragon TV is expanding and is searching for broadcasters. If sports broadcasting is something that you want to try, go to ParagonTV.com and click the apply button. If you love sports and love to talk about sports, this job is for you.
You get a cup of coffee, you walk up to the cashier to pay, and there it is, a world of possibilities right there at your fingertips. The Penny News, our free gift to you.
Stay informed with the latest news from the energy industry on the Exploring Energy Show.
Pan American Energy for dangerous waste due to deficient treatment close to the town of Anillo, as oily sludge residue from fracking was tipped in, illegal waste dumps. Formation is also known for its fossils, such as those of marine reptiles. Argentina. I had no idea old Hambone was going down to South America there in Argentina and getting him a little taste of that business. But it's kind of funny because when they showed the picture of it, I was like, wow, that does look like West Texas. No doubt about it. Well, back to the data centers, because, that's top of the mind. Well, the AARP. Okay, the Oklahoma AARP says Oklahomans complain of high utility bills, and they don't want to be hit with higher rates because of data center construction. Now, the AARP, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I wouldn't give one penny to be a part of this because they are very left-leaning. They take a lot of that money from their members, and they back left-leaning Democratic candidates. So you can form your own opinion of AARP, like, oh, hey, we get this discount, we get that discount, but that money that you send into them, be sure where it's going. Do a little research on that, if you would. I know I did. Because, as soon as I think I hit 50, they started sending me all that stuff. Made me feel like an old man. Now I'm close to turning 65, but I'm just saying. The story goes on to say that the state's chapter says it has a national AARP survey to back up its claims and supports the efforts of one state legislator who filed a measure to protect consumers from higher rates caused by new data centers. These findings reinforce what we're hearing from thousands of Oklahomans who say utility bills are already too high. They can't afford a penny more, said AARP Oklahoma State Director Shawn Vaskul. Residential customers must be protected from massive data centers and utility companies that want to leave customers holding the bag. The new AARP survey finds that 75% of Americans, regardless of political party, believe state policymakers should work to ensure that residential utility customers do not pay for the cost of serving new large data centers, including the massive artificial intelligence-related facilities coming online across the country. Although the survey was conducted nationally, the findings carry particular urgency in Oklahoma, where data center development is accelerating at an unprecedented rate. According to reporting from Frontier in Oklahoma, at least 18 data center projects in Oklahoma driven heavily by AI-related power consumption needs are either under construction or awaiting approval. Survey shows an overwhelming public agreement with 78% of respondents saying data centers, not residential customers, should cover their own electricity and water costs associated with their large-scale operations. Of course they're saying that. I'm not a member of this AARP and will not be, but I also agree that the data centers pay your own way, man. If you got a business model and you got a business idea and you think that you can make money in that business, then you have to assume the costs of that business. Try to fill out a small business loan application. They're going to ask you. What's your plan? What's your business plan? What's your business model? How are you planning to take the money that we're going to loan you and make more money with it, enough to pay us back and then to make you a living? That's the same thing these data centers need to do. Self-sufficiency. Don't shoulder everybody else around you because you got a great big old place that's coming in. I think these communities need to work with these data centers. The tax deferral, those kind of things like that to lure one in. That's a little different situation than making everybody's utility bills go up or making it to where not everybody in town gets water. Okay, we're talking about a couple of different situations here. Do the due diligence. Find out what these people are going to do, what their intentions are, how they're going to do it, and then hold their feet to the fire. It's kind of like what Oklahoma finally started doing after they got burnt a few times, what they did with the electric vehicle maker Canoe. They gave them some tax breaks, and they said, okay, we're going to give you this amount of money if you reach these goals. Well, Canoe didn't reach those goals. And Oklahoma said, okay, then you ain't getting the money. Same kind of thing with these data centers. Make sure that what they agree to can be enforced. Make sure they've got solvency, collateral, if you will. Lots of moving parts to this data center thing. Again, I just urge each and every one of you to do some due diligence. The water consumption, that is concerning to me. When I first heard that, I thought, man, they use that much water? And I'm like, yeah, they do. But a lot of them are coming up with new, better, innovative ideas to cool their systems without using the amount of water that they once had to. I think probably to get started, the water cooling was the easiest thing to do. Now they're starting to get more into it. Like, how can we make this happen without using a whole lot of water? And they are making strides in that. Education's the key, folks. I'll be back with the mop-up segment of today's Exploring Energy Radio Show right after this.
The Exploring Energy Show.
They're expecting me to get whatever task done. To a farmer, tractor, combine, gets them up and running. He's back in the field, makes some money. Guy in the oil field, their piece of equipment's running again. That makes some money. Solves that problem. I'm Brock Kalk, and my company is American Hose and Supply. We sell all types of industrial hose and fittings, oil field or agriculture. So if your farmer need a hose built, you can come in, we'll build it. You're a oil field customer and need us to come out and see you, we'll come out and see you and take an order or pick up a hose, build it, bring it back to you. If we're competitive on price, we say we'll bring it to you, we'll do whatever it takes to get it to you, make life easier on you, or you can call us to solve a problem. Hey, can you get this? Why wouldn't you? American Hose and Supply, 2111 South Main, Elk City, Oklahoma, in Camrock Building next to Fred's.
Or call 303-1123. 303-1123.
Why wouldn't you?
We did the Veterans Monument in Oklahoma City. At the time we did it, they didn't want any names on it. They were just doing the different wars in bronze panels on granite. 20 years later, they decided they want all the veterans' names on the back of the monument. Well, there's no way to engrave it, so they wanted to put bronze names on there. We said, you can't, that won't work well. They ended up finding someone that would put the bronze names on there, and then they started kind of popping off and everything. So then they called us to go in and see how we could clad it and get the names on it after the fact. So there's just things that come up in the granite industry where you have to investigate and figure out how to fix it or create it. Some things you just won't do, but, there's projects that are nice out there that not everybody will have a hand in, will want to have a hand. Willis Granite Products. Our website is willisgranite.com.
You got 5-6 tractors out there. You got a dozer, a traco, a grader, something like that. I mean, you go through a lot of oil in a season. I mean, you'll use a few hundred gallons in a season. So here at Camrock, we have the same specification oil as the other brand, where people think that they have to use that for a certain color on their tractors and stuff like that. But we have the same oil specifications as they do. Works just as well, does the same thing, lubes it just the same. Price comparison is, it's not even a comparison. We have a better price than anybody around on that type of oil. They can come in and talk to us, see what they want, or give us a call, and we can come out, see what they have, fill their tanks, set them tanks. That's what we've done here in the past. We've converted a lot of farmers over to our brand, our house brand of motor diesel oil. The price savings it's huge for them. We sell it to oil field companies also. They use it in frac pumps. And they're not happy, you know it, and it's working great for them. Camrock is the name of the company. It's 2111 South Main, Elk City, south of Fred's Steakhouse. The price savings it's huge for them.
For garage doors, repairs, and more, call C&M Overhead Door at 580-515-1688.
This is the Exploring Energy Show.
Exploring Energy brought to you by one of our newest sponsors, One Source Control Products, LLC. They're now open in Weatherford in the old H&C Supply Building, 400 South Access Road in Weatherford, just off the south of the interstate there. Call them at 580-330-1161. Pipe, valves, and fittings, controls, regulators, hydraulic hoses and fittings. lubricants, gloves, tapes, batteries. They now have welding supplies, plus iron and metal like angle iron, square tubing, channel iron, also several other steel items. They also sell consumables such as soap and salt sticks, and they do glycol and methanol pump repair in their pump repair shop. They can handle any of your pump repairs from methanol to glycol. Their repair technicians work on all Kimray, Tex Team, and Western pumps. With locations in Elk City, Canadian, Texas, and now in Weatherford, it's one source. You can find out more online. The numeral 1, Source OK. OneSourceOK.com. And they are our newest sponsor in their newest building there in Weatherford. Sustaining Oklahoma's Energy Resources, part of the Oklahoma Energy Resources Board, also a great sponsor of this show. And they are a great sponsor of continuing education for the oil and gas industry. SPCC training is coming up January the 29th. Managing spills and staying compliant with regulations can often be time-consuming and challenging. In this case, they'll explore the key requirements for facilities to develop, implement, and maintain an effective oil spill prevention, control, and countermeasure SPCC plan. That's January the 29th, 11 a.m. Zoom meeting. February 11th, they've got the best practices for well integrity. That's going to be a big one, too. Those are both Zoom meetings. They're free. They're both at 11 a.m. Get yourself registered the day before. So by the January 28th close of business, go to www.soer.oerb.com. SOER, Sustaining Oklahoma's Energy Resources, part of the OERB. Online, soer.oerb.com. Tell them you heard about it on the Exploring Energy Radio Show. This hour's weather forecast brought to you as a service of Carter Electric in Elk City. They're owned and operated by Kervin and Mary Orgain. They help you see the light of day even at night. And if your power goes out at midnight or on the weekends, you can call Carter Electric. They provide 24-hour, 7-day-a-week emergency electrical service. Want to make sure your power stays on regardless, like one of our great listeners did? Have Carter Electric come and put an authorized Generac generator at your house or your business. They're authorized Generac generator dealer. Sizing a generator is very important. Get the right size. They can come and size it. They can come and install it and come back and service it. And a lot of electric work goes on overhead. Carter Electric has pole trucks, man lifts to get way up high if there's a problem up there. Licensed, insured, trusted. It's Carter Electric, 225-2447. Call them at 225-2447. Providing you this hour's weather forecast, the service of Carter Electric. A little cooler out there today. Sunny with a high near, 67. Going to have to hurry. South-southwest winds 8 to 14 miles per hour. Gusts as high as 21. Tonight, clear, low around 35. West winds. Friday, sunny with a high near 51. North-northwest winds 17 to 24 miles per hour. Gusts as high as 34 tomorrow. Tomorrow night, increasing clouds with a low around 25. North-northwest wind 8 to 14 miles per hour with a gust as high as 20 miles per hour. Come on, rain. Saturday, 20% chance of precipitation. Chance of showers, snow showers, just so you know, before noon. Partly sunny with a high near 43. North-northwest winds 8 to 18 miles per hour. Gusts as high as 28. Mostly clear Saturday night, low around 17. Sunday high near 58. Sunday night about low 25. Martin Luther King Monday, mostly sunny with a high near 46. Mostly clear with a low around 22 on Monday night. Sunny with a high near 51 on Tuesday. Sunny with a high near 59 on Wednesday. So a 20% chance of snow showers before noon. I just had my yard sprayed, so that'd be great to get some moisture to set that in. If not, I'm going to be out there with my garden hose freezing my tushy off. But anyhow, 20% chance of snow showers before noon Saturday morning. Winds as high as 28. Could create some issues, no doubt about it. Energy news in my briefs. Lawyers for Chevron, Texaco, and ExxonMobil argue before the U.S. Supreme Court that localities' lawsuit against oil companies over climate change and rising seas should be heard in federal and not state courts after a jury awarded two Louisiana parish governments $744.6 million in damages from Chevron, raising the sea level, changing the climate. What a farce. The Trump administration violated the Fifth Amendment when it canceled clean energy grants last year based on whether the projects were located in states that voted for the president in 2024. A federal court judge ruled on Monday. Federal court judge. I'm about sick of even hearing federal court judge. First hearing in Dominion Energy sued against the Trump administration in its efforts to restart construction of its offshore wind farm will take place in Norfolk, Virginia on Friday. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, recently issued a final rule on nitrogen oxide standards for new gas-fired power plants and other stationary turbines. The standards are significantly more lenient than a proposal issued in November of 2024 during the Brandon administration, reported Utility Dive. A report by Blaze Media contends Canada's self-inflicted pipeline paralysis is eroding its position in the U.S. market, just as alternatives like Venezuelan oil come back online. Nowhere is it that risk clearer than in Alberta, home to the vast majority of Canada's oil production, where years of stalled pipeline projects have left the country's most valuable energy asset effectively landlocked. Developers choose a predominantly black community in South Carolina for a proposed data center complex after failing to win approval to build in a largely white Georgia community, demonstrating how black neighborhoods are routinely targeted for such development. Oh, brother. I guess you can paint it however you want to. Oil prices rose to a 2-month high yesterday. We talked about that as traders priced in a heightened risk premium on Iran, where protests have been raging. Then President Trump said the country's ruling regime would pay a big price. International pricing benchmark Brent crude and U.S. benchmark West Texas Intermediate have both gained more than 10% before falling today. The only places where Venezuela oil becomes unappealing to American oil companies is at refineries that's not designed for Venezuela's heavy sour barrels. Hundreds of new wind turbines are to be built around Britain's coastline after Ed Miliband awarded nearly yearly subsidies of up to, 1.8 billion pounds to green energy developers. The Energy Secretary has approved plans for 6 new offshore wind farms following an auction of renewable contracts known as Allocation Round 7. And the Trump administration has filed court warrants in an effort to seize more ships linked to Venezuela's oil trade. According to media reports, so far 5 vessels have been seized by the U.S. military and Coast Guard in recent weeks. That first tanker that the United States took out of the water, they've sold that oil. $500 million is what they're getting for that deal. So, with that being said, let's get to some energy stock prices. I'll kind of give you an idea of what's going on there. Yesterday was a lot of green. Today, a lot of that old redness. Yeah. AEP up 28 cents, trading at 118.39. Apache Corp down $1.08 to 25.61. Baker Hughes up 49 cents to 50.47. ConocoPhillips down $1.64 to 98.74. Devon Energy Corp down $1.01 to 36.89. EOG Resources down $2.22 to 108.52. Expand Energy Corp is down $1.52 to 99.94. General Electric up $3.99 to $323 a share. Halliburton Company down 35 cents to 32.71. Helmerich & Payne down 47 cents, 31.80. Liberty Energy down 3 cents to $20 even. Occidental Petroleum down 97 cents to 43.38. OG&E Resources up 3 pennies to 43.51. One Oak down $1.36 to 74.48. Phillips 66 down $1.33 to 140.03. Sandridge Energy down 41 cents to $14.31. Schlumberger is down 38 cents to 46.60, and Williams Company up 26 cents to $60.96. Tomorrow we're slated to have Nick Archer, state representative, also chairman of the Energy Committee in the State House. Looking forward to our visit with Nick Archer as always. Hope you enjoyed today's show. Take a jacket out there. It's cool. I'm Shawn Wilson. Thanks so much for listening. I promise we'll talk again. Have yourself a great day.
Number 1 for new country.
KECO, Elk City.
Fox News
I'm CJ Papa. Chaos on the streets of Minneapolis following the second ice